My name's Rick Anthony. I am the SVP here at Mastech. Been here almost 6 years, and I've got about 25 years implementing Oracle applications. So thought this would be a great conversation to have today about coexistence. So looking forward to sharing this material with you. My other co-host here is Snehal. Snehal, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Rick. Hi, everyone. Snehal. I have been with Mastech for about 17 years. I have started my career as e-business suite consultant and then, grown from there, did a lot of, cloud implementation projects also. In my current role, I lead our North America's Oracle practice, and I'm really, really excited, to share our content with you all today.
Excellent, excellent. So why don't we go ahead and start? And I think the first is to talk about the agenda. So, we're going to take a couple moments to talk about Mastech for those of you who are not familiar with it. And then, how do you go about selecting the most effective strategy? I think a lot of people are having a lot of conversations out there internally and with partners to discuss what's the best way forward. And hopefully we can share some ideas today. We'll talk a little bit about the assessment that we had and we've developed over the many, many years, and what the process is on that, and what kind of value you can bring from it. And then we'll jump into evaluating all the options. What do you do? There's a lot of options to you out there. So let's take a moment to discuss those. And then we'll talk about a case study on the coexistence. Okay, so let's start off with the next slide and an introduction to myself, which we already did, and then jump over to Mastech. So Mastech is a company that's been around 40 years. And the Oracle practice came about 17 years ago, where Snehal and I came from. Or that was an acquisition of Mastech by a company called EBS. You may or may not have heard of them. Company had been around again 17 years or so, implementing Oracle-only applications, and that's where both Snehal and I came from. And as a company in the Oracle practice, we have well over 1,375 Oracle Cloud customers globally, and that number keeps growing. Our dedication at Mastech is to the Oracle practice too. You can see of the 6,000 odd employees, half are dedicated towards Oracle. And as it pertains to the content today about on-premise and e-business customers, we've taken well over 170 odd customers to Oracle Cloud, and that doesn't mean necessarily full transformation. That's coexistence as well. And that number doesn't actually even cover how many we've taken to OCI for e-business customers and put them into the cloud. We cover all the areas of the Oracle pillar. So everything from ERP, HCM, CX, supply chain, all those. And we continue to change those numbers that are shown up there through our efforts and growth. And our Oracle practice has seen quite a bit of growth. You can see from the on-premise customers we've taken to cloud, so well over 100 for e-business, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and SAP. All right, and we are a global company. So, if you are a global company, we're able to assist a lot of my customers, including Samsonite, started with the implementation here and rolled out to well over 40 countries. And we've had customers that kick off their projects. I had a customer kick off a project last year in our London offices. So we are global, and we're able to respond accordingly if you need hands on the ground or feet on the ground in the areas throughout the globe. So that's a little bit about us. And the next slide is talking about a little bit more about what people are saying about us. So we've won Global Partner of the Year from Oracle for ERP, and HCM, which we're pretty proud of. But this is what the advisory firms are saying about us. So Everest Group rank us in the top 5. And then Gartner, the lovely Gartner Magic Quadrant, ranks us for Oracle services in the top area for niche players, and they've categorized us as niche players in the for the reason that we're Oracle only as a company. And we're pretty proud about this because, you know, for those 2 Oracle recognitions, that's out of 25,000 partners globally. So, you know, don't look at this as an advertisement for MasTech, but more so as why we're in the room giving you the advice we're giving you. And that last quadrant is for our managed services, so application managed services. So we've been recognized for our application managed services around Oracle for the Peat Matrix group as well. So let's jump to the next slide so you get a kind of a logos of all the companies. And this is just a small smattering of our US customers. You know, we've got well over, as I said, 1,300 customers. There's some names in there that are local to the US, and then there's some global names. As I said, we are global. So we've got some city councils in the UK, but we've got some very big and strong manufacturers here in the US and high-tech area, as well as in the financial sector and other industries. Happy to share if you inquire about our experience in this particular industry sector. Let's jump to the next slide. So choosing the right cloud strategy. So this is an interesting topic because Fusion, as you know, is not new, and e-business is not. But you know, a lot of customers have already looked at Fusion, and those that could move off of EBS and move to Fusion have done so. And a lot of those customers have done so throughout the years, but there are many, many others that have not yet. And that's what this conversation is about, because you've got various options. And you know, I think what's really motivating a lot of customers to look at either moving to OCI and a lift and shift, or moving in a coexistent, or doing a full transformation, is the conversation around AI. And I'm talking to a lot of customers that were devoted to their on-premise solution, but their CEO and CFO and COO and a couple of the other Cs are asking, well, what's our AI strategy? Everybody's developing an AI strategy. And if you're on an on-premise solution, there is oftentimes no embedded AI for you to take advantage of. Whereas in the Fusion Cloud and Oracle Cloud, you now have those built-in options, and we'll talk a little bit about those later, that are helping you to optimize and get more information. And we are a company that's really dedicated towards AI. You know, with our customers, if you look at moving to Fusion, we use AI in the implementation process to help streamline and make it more cost effective. But we also go one step further and not only implement the AI that Oracle has out of the box for you and help you to understand what it does, we actually even build into the implementation at no cost a AI agent, or building a proof of concept for you for AI and implementing it for you. So those are some of the reasons why customers are going there. Those are some of the options. So let's talk about what you do first. And this is where we've talked to a lot of our customers is, what is my next step? Okay, we need to either choose one of these options, but what is the next step? And that's an e-business assessment. And something that we've honed through the years to help our customers, because I can tell you many stories about customers where they said, we can't move to cloud because we've got too many customizations. Our secret sauce is in our manufacturing area. We can't move. And we do the assessment and it validates that. Either there's a perceived notion that they can't move to cloud because of customizations, and we show them that actually a lot of these customizations are now inherent in cloud, or that they in fact are right, that their secret sauce in manufacturing is not native to Oracle Cloud, and therefore we have to partition that out and integrate to it, and then we create a coexisting environment. So the first consideration is technical. How do we look at it? What are the customizations? How are things set up in your system? And this is the first thing we do for the assessment. So we're going to be able to give you a mapping exercise between the what you currently have, and then what Oracle will bring you. But more so than that is we're going to define the CHEMLEs for you, if you haven't done that already. And the CHEMLEs is an acronym that means customizations, extensions, modifications, localizations, and integrations. And those are the elements in which most of e-business platforms are built on, that you have to have that visibility to understand what's the technical difficulty to move to cloud or move to OCI. If you're not looking at a lift and shift, you want to do some transformation during that period. So let's go to the next slide. And this is where we talk about the objects in the summary, and we look at how many customizations you have. In this particular case, I remember this from one particular customer. There was a enterprise application director, and he saw this and he said, see, we can't move to cloud because we've got well over 2,100 customizations. We can't move to cloud. And then we were able to run through our assessment as we do. And we told them, well, actually, more than half of those customizations you're not using now. And then we did more iterative process and found that more than 80% of what was left are now inherent in Oracle. And then we were able to take what was left of that 20% and divide it into change management, where we help people understand a different way of doing things, or if there was actually secret sauce. And in this particular case, there was secret sauce. There was about 80 or so customizations that were focused around that secret sauce, and we built them an extension. And for them, it was a huge success, because then they were able to visualize and see that getting to cloud was not going to be as difficult as they thought. And we were, again, that coexistence, we were able to build that application for them. So that's a nice little story that goes with this. And let's go to the next slide and show you a little bit more about what we include in the assessment. So the next portion is comparing apples to apples, and what does Oracle eBusiness have? And then what does Fusion, Oracle Fusion have? And this is interesting for customers because, same functionality they can't live without. So we show them similar processes in eBusiness are there, and then they're listed there. What's on the right-hand side is the enhanced processes that Fusion offers. And what oftentimes happens here is customers realize, well, either they built a customization to add these enhancements, or they're using another application to do so. And then now, when we're building the business case, they can look at the retirement of some of those applications to justify why we would be moving to cloud. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And here's another area that really has to be considered when doing the assessment, especially when you're looking at OCI, moving the infrastructure to cloud, or coexistence or transformation, is what is your current TCO? When you're building that business case, and which will help you on, is what is the actual TCO that you're looking at? So on the right-hand side is the SaaS cloud Fusion, and you see that, okay, you've got the annual subscription, okay, and then you've got the support for it, which is oftentimes in business, you got your business analyst from our side if we support you, or internally, however you want to do that, and then the integration support. So it's very minimal. It's very minimal. Where on the other hand, on premise, and you may have seen these slides before, and we'll use, again, this will be part of our assessment for you to help build the business cases. You have to consider quite a few other things, including upgrades. How do you manage upgrades? Okay, Oracle Fusion rolls them out to you, okay, and you'll have to run some testing against it, and you may use some automated tools. We do that for our customers, very easy and simple. But how do you manage upgrades? And the software license, and then also the hardware license and the upgrades that are engaged. And then I used to own a managed service company in the UK, and it was for e-business. And we had quite a few staff managing it, from the database and the applications and customizations. And then the infrastructure, if you have it within a data center or it's within your own data center, that infrastructure software support, as well as the people to support it. So there's a lot of other considerations. If you go to the next slide, we'll help you compute this out so that you can actually build this for you. So we'll help you with that. So that's a real brief overview of what the e-business assessment we do for you, to help you to choose what is the best option and strategy for you. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Snehal and let him talk to you about what the options are. Off to
Great.
you.
Thanks. All right, so let's pursue the journey Rick has started, right, with e-business suite assessment. So one aspect, Rick has, in fact, two aspects, Rick has talked about is one is, assessment of your EBS environment, right, in terms of the technical objects, the configuration, and how Oracle Cloud application can help you, achieve your goal. And the second aspect Rick has also discussed is the cost comparison, right? So when you make a decision, obviously, the dollar is going to be really, really important. So now let me discuss, the third aspect, right? So as part of assessment, and sometimes the assessment is 2 to 3 weeks of exercise. Sometimes, it is 3 to 4 months of exercise, and sometimes it's a journey, right? So for an example, we have customers, uh, you know, taking the option one, which is upgrading e-business suite to the latest environment available, and also exploring whether, they should migrate their workload on and the infrastructure on OCI. So let me quickly, talk about that option, and we'll not spend time here. So Mastech has, if you decide, to pursue this option, and we will work with you. Mastech has a strong experience doing EBS upgrade. In fact, the way we have started our company, we were EBS shop, before 17 years, and then, with Fusion coming in the market, we have transitioned from EBS to cloud. So as a organization, we understand e-business suite really, really well. We have done over 150 plus EBS upgrades globally. So we are strong in the space. We have defined methodology, tools and technique. And if you need our help in upgrade, please reach out to us, and more than happy to, spend time with you and help you. We also have a strong experience, helping our EBS customer migrating to OCI. Precisely, we have done about 20 projects globally. We understand OCI really well. We have a dedicated technology practice focused on OCI. We have globally about 80 consultants certified, and they are just part of our OCI practice. What we really like about OCI, apart from lot of other benefits are, if you are a EBS customer, move on OCI, you will get a benefit of single vendor from Oracle, great and enhanced security, and also the EBS migration or running of EBS on OCI is been certified by Oracle. There are thousands and thousands customer globally who are successful running their EBS environment on OCI. So if you happen to choose this route, again, reach out to us. We can get you are technical experts, and we can do a lot of discussion on the subject. All right. So as part of assessment journey, right? And I want to carefully uh, quote assessment as a journey. Please do not think that assessment is just talking about your EBS environment, right? It is much more than that. So as part of this journey, right? And before I talk about coexistence, and let me also give you a little more background, right, Rick? So there are a lot of EBS customers globally. They have transformed on Oracle Cloud application, on Oracle Fusion application successfully. And we still have a lot of EBS customers still using EBS, because what we have realized, after talking to our EBS customers, their situation is really, really unique. Rick has given example of, either they have done customization on EBS, or if their supply chain is really, really complicated, or they are a global customers and they are not really sure if payroll localization is available on cloud in their countries or not. So there are really, really specific situations. And what we are seeing these days are this bunch of EBS customers have chosen coexistence as their model to start the journey. And we'll talk about options in a bit. But and I'm sure you have seen this slide. But I just want to highlight few things real quick before we go on. What we have experienced, and I'm really, really excited that since last few years, Oracle Cloud application is really, really getting matured. It covers all the all the functional area, from your financials, purchasing, supply chain, HCM, manufacturing, pretty much everything. And the feedback we are getting from our customer is really, really great and interesting. They are able to completely rely on Fusion application, and their back office operations are running really, really successful. It also offers comprehensive analytics, right? So if you are using Oracle Cloud Financials, you get hundreds of dashboards, KPIs, pre-built in. So you do not have to really spend your time and energy giving requirements, creating custom reports, custom analytics. All of that is not required. So you get a lot of analytics dashboard part of it. Oracle also offers varieties of industry application, so healthcare is an example, and there are other industry applications available as part of cloud application. The uh, third party application integrations, the kind of capabilities and adapters are available along with Fusion application. It is really, really easy to integrate your any of your existing application. Rick has talked about AI, and I feel really, really excited, right, to be part of this time. Oracle offers out of the box AI functionalities in almost all the modules. So if you are using cloud recruitment, you get AI features. If you are a financial customer, you get AI features. If you use supply chain, you get AI features. And all these AI features are out of the box. So you do not have to spend energy creating or building anything. If you buy the application, you get AI features, and it is really helping our customers to feel right. Everybody is talking about AI, Gen AI, but when you really use some of these features, right, in your day-to-day operations, then right, what you want to do, and what journey you want to plan in terms of AI. And apart from that, the Oracle Cloud ecosystem offers varieties of other functionalities. If you are interested to learn more about cloud application, if you want to see a demo of a module, or if you want to, try AI feature yourself, please reach out to us and more than happy to spend time with you. All right, coming back to the subject, coexistence. So let me first, start with a case study here, right? So we have a large, and now they have moved on cloud application completely. But they were a large e-business suite shop here in US, in Texas area, and they were using, and this story is about 3 years old, right? They were using all the EBS module, financial, supply chain, HCM. They have done lot of customization, and then as Rick has explained, the customer was looking for help, right? How do we start our cloud journey? We absolutely want to do a transformation because our business is growing. We want to expand, so and so forth. But we are really not sure. Should we move to Oracle Cloud application in one shot, or should we do a phasing strategy? We don't have confidence. So we have ran the assessment tool, and you would not believe, what they have done is, with partnership with Mastech, they have started their cloud journey with only one module called PDH, Product Data Hub. And then, that's a classic example of coexistence. So we have done Cloud PDH integrated with Oracle eBusiness Suite, and that's how they have started their cloud journey. And then they've used PDH, felt comfortable. It has helped them in, the internal change management. They wanted to reduce their risk. uh, Try it first, right? Start small and expand. So that's the concept they have used, and today they are live with all of their modules on cloud. So they are live with cloud financial, supply chain, manufacturing, HCM, including payroll. They are a happy customer of Oracle and Mastech, and I will show you little more details about them, as we progress. We also have, lot of customers. So they have started their coexistence journey with cloud HCM, right? So they were EBS customer using, again, HCM ERP on EBS. They thought we want to do HCM first, so we implemented cloud HCM integrated with eBusiness Suite. We also have customers, they were Hyperion and EBS customers. So they said, you know what, let's first retire Hyperion, implement EPM, integrate with eBusiness Suite, and then plan. So there are so many scenarios. We have a customer in West Coast, right? Again, really large, 5 billion plus dollar in revenue, global customer, using manufacturing and financials on EBS. They have implemented cloud ERP first, integrated with their e-business suite manufacturing, and as we speak, they are live on cloud manufacturing also. So there are so many scenarios, situations, and ways available as far as coexistence is concerned. And we are really seeing, not just for e-business suite, but with our PeopleSoft, with our JD Edwards customers, they are adopting this option. Again, more than happy, reach out to us, and we can guide you, work with you, do a quick assessment and see, if coexistence is the right way to start your journey. All right. Let's go on third option, right? Full transformation. Now I'm just changing the gears, right? And we are still, if you are a EBS customer, we are still in our assessment journey, right? So as part of the assessment, we will also help you, if you should do a full transformation. And let's assume that, we all felt, yes, full transformation is the way to go. Then what Mastech have done is, we call it Glide 4.0, which is our transformation methodology designed specifically for EBS customer to transform on cloud applications. It has five or six different phases, as you can see on screen. Rick has talked about assessment, so I'll not spend my time there. The second phase is insight. Let me give you a little brief about insight, and then I'll come back to this slide. And again, one point which probably we have not highlighted so far is, for Mastech, what is important is you get maximum value out of your Oracle and Mastech investment. Our delivery methodology is value driven. So for us, it is really, really important that we identify, what do you mean, what is your definition of value, in the sales cycle. And then, we design the entire implementation s- so that, you ultimately get the value. And Insight is a program in which we have designed specifically for that. And let me spend couple of minutes and explain you what is Insight. So as part of the sales cycle or as part of the assessment journey, right, we sit with you, once the tool is ran and the output is available, we will sit with your executives, your team, and try and understand, what are the challenges you are facing today, right, on EBS, you know, and what are your goals when you move on Oracle Cloud application. For an example, right, we are talking to CFO office and CFO says, you know what, I want to reduce my period closing process. Today on EBS, it takes about 5 to 6 days of time. And by implementing Oracle Cloud Financials, I want to reduce that 6 days to 3 days. So as part of assessment or after assessment, we identify KPIs, right? So reduction in period closing cycle is one of the KPI. We have about close to 219 KPIs across finance, supply chain, and HCM. We identify the KPI, we benchmark and baseline. So, in this example, the current situation is it is taking 6 days to close the books, and the expectation is it should reduce to 3 days. So we record this information, and generally speaking, we identify about anywhere between 15 to 20 KPIs depending upon your footprint, and baseline and benchmark them. And this package will be delivered to our project team. So when our project team will create the plan, agree the methodology, right, with our customer, they will include, different tasks, which we have agreed or we have discussed as part of the Insight journey. And then the entire implementation would happen considering, all of these tasks, in the plan. So the implementation plan is going to be really, really tailored and specific to your situation. And then once you go live, right, if I just continue with my example, so you have live with cloud financials, right? And we have discussed the KPI, the period closing KPI in the sales process or in the assessment process. We would not stop there, right? We also have created a analytical tool which we deploy on your environment, and your CFO office would be able to use the analytics, and they can observe, right, and measure if the period closing process has improved, after using Oracle Cloud Financials. And not just that, we also create our payment milestone in a way where, for an example, you pay us 10 percentage of implementation contract after achievement of the KPI result, which we have promised in the sales cycle. And sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes 9 months, or even a year of time to get that result. The idea is, for Mastech, success is not go live. Success is when you really achieve the goals, which we have discussed and agreed, as part of the assessment journey. And I have given you example of period closing. We have varieties of KPI such as contract leakage, if you want to improve your employees onboarding process, or if you want to have a better engagement of your employees and manager in the performance management process. So we have about 200 plus KPIs, which we leverage as part of the Insight program. And then, yeah, Rick, you have any?
No, I was gonna say on this, and I just wanted to add to this because both Snehal and I came from an e-business background, and we and some of you met maybe on the phone were maybe part of that initial implementation of e-business within your organization. And you might remember when the business was looking at preparing for that, they built a business case on an ROI for it. And they signed off on the project. And halfway through the project of the 3 year or 4 year project, everybody's forgotten about their ROI. Everybody's forgotten about why are we doing this? They just want their lives back. Well, the advent of cloud, you can be up and running in 12 months, 16 months, or less. So now customers are really looking at how am I going to justify this and how am I going to track it? And that's exactly what Snehal has been talking about here is talking about, what's your justification? Why are you wanting to do this? And that's what we do. That's exactly what this program is set up for. Thank you, Sam.
Perfect. No, that's great point. All right, so let's continue. And my plan is not to explain you the methodology, but if you are a EBS customer, right, when you plan your cloud transformation, be it coexistence or a full transformation, there are a lot of other important aspect, and one of it is uh, data migration. So what Mastech have done is, we have created our tool. This tool get connected to your EBS environment. It will do extraction and then it will transform the data, not just technical transformation, but for an example, while you plan your cloud journey, you want to change your chart of account, or you want to clean your job titles, or you want to work on your supplier master or item master. So we will take the business logic, whatever changes you want to make. And this tool is a configurable where we can put in the logic and it will do transformation from that aspect also. And then this tool will populate data in the template which Oracle Fusion Cloud can consume, and then it will migrate also. It obviously has number of reconciliation report which you can use and verify. This tool, in order to use this tool, you don't need any technical expertise. We give this tool to our customer. It has a front end. You can log in and then give instance information, and it really works very well. So as part of Glide program, we have created a number of assets. Data migration tool is one asset. We have a repository of third-party integration, so that process also becomes really, really fast. We also have a repository of custom reports, which we share with our customers. We use varieties of other tools, such as we are partnered with OpKey, and we use OpKey in our implementation and managed services, so that the testing, right, be it your CRP testing, your SIT testing, your user acceptance testing, or your post go live testing becomes more efficient. So we use number of tools. There are other important aspect of Glide methodology, such as the organization change management is part of it, right? So we do not create a separate line item for OCM. What we have realized is, specifically for EBS customer, when they go on cloud, the change management is really, really important. You want a partner who understand e-business suite and cloud both. So the OCM is part of our methodology. We share leading best practices, as part of our Glide methodology, and it also has the long-term support part of it. So we have used this methodology number of times, with our EBS customers, and they are really, really successful.
And let me just point out what all these tools that we use mean to you. What's the so what factor? The so what factor is because we've done this so many times and created so many of these accelerators that we're able to accelerate the implementation time. And what does that mean to you? That means more cost effectiveness. So combined with our AI, adopt AI methodology where we use AI to implement, it's becoming a situation where cost isn't nearly the factor anymore because of all these accelerators. Of course, there is going to be a cost, but it's a lot more reasonable than it was previous. Carry on, Snehal.
Yep, absolutely. Uh, yeah, so this is our last slide, and we will see if there are any questions. So Archrock, is one of our happy customer. They are a leading provider of natural gas contract compression based out of Texas, revenue about $1 billion plus. Archrock was a EBS customer. They were using pretty much all EBS modules, financial, supply chain, manufacturing, human capital management, including payroll. And they wanted to plan their cloud transformation. So the way Rick has explained the assessment process, they have approached Mastech, and we have worked with them, ran the assessment process, created a detailed roadmap, TCO, and then Archrock has used Mastech Glide program, which we have discussed in brief, and today they are successful. So they have completely moved out of a business suite. They are successful customer, both for Oracle and us. If you want, we can absolutely get you a call with Archrock. So similar way, we have varieties of success stories. We also have global customers. In if you are a global company, we have customers in Europe, in UK, in Middle East, in Asia Pacific, who have used Mastech Glide program, and today either they are successfully running their coexistence option, or they have also done complete cloud transformation.
Great. Thank you, Snehal. And so that is our presentation for today. So we do have one question that's still active that I'll leave for you, Snehal, because I know it depends on regulatory requirements. But how much data retention is recommended when moving to cloud from EBS?
That's a really great and a common question. What we have seen, depending upon in which industry you are, we have seen customer retaining about up to 2 years of history, meaning they want to migrate about 2 years of history in cloud applications. But very interestingly, there are options available where you can migrate the entire EBS history using a data lake strategy, right? So, and there are Oracle also has solution, right, where you can even if you have history of 30 years, right, on your e-business suite, you can take that history, create a data lake, migrate everything there, create a dashboard, right, and use that dashboard. So let's say if you want to go back 7 years, right, and track a transaction for a reason, you will be able to use the dashboard. And the data lake strategy is really, really cost effective because you absolutely do not want to migrate all of that history on cloud application. Like I said, our customers generally migrate up to 2 years, but they really use the data lake strategy. And good thing of data lake strategy is, let's say if you have a non-Oracle tools and product which you use today, you can continue using that. So we can help you, essentially creating data lake using any of other technology, be it Microsoft or anything else you use today. Rick, do we
Apologies,
have other?
I was on mute. I see no other questions. And feel free to reach out to us directly. We'll be sending a follow-up email after this with a copy of the recording that we've had today, and allowing you to share it amongst your coworkers. But also, we'll probably be following up to see if there's any interest in further understanding a little bit more. Now, it looks like we've got one more question. You'd like to learn more about the challenges clients face with coexistent approach. Any insights would be helpful. You know, I think we can absolutely keep you give you a sit down on this, but there are a few challenges. Obviously, it's the integration points, but it's going to be sitting through and having that full assessment done, whether it's the light version or the one that is more journey-like, to determine what those challenges are. And that's exactly what the assessment is built on, is understanding what those challenges, because almost with every customer, they are slightly different. Is there anything to add to that, Snehal?
No, I think you have covered it pretty well, right? It is about, because in coexistence, your integrations are like a throwaway integrations, right? So whether you want to build those integrations or you want to plan your complete transformation. So that's the discussion. But and in fact, the customer which I have just discussed, Archrock, we also had a lot of debates there, right? So we discussed, just to minimize the risk, let's just do HCM first. And then we have done a lot of scenarios, debate, discussion, whiteboarding, and jointly we realized that it is not worth creating a lot of throwaway integration. The another, not a challenge, but important consideration is change management, because you do not want your end user to use multiple application. And there are other learnings also. More than happy to schedule a call and get into more details.
Thank you for that last question, Ramesh. Any other questions before we break? This has been very productive, and I hope everybody got some value from it today. And again, we'll be reaching out. Let us know if you're interested in the assessment. We'll be very happy to help. All right. Thank you all. You have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll be speaking soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you.